Hey, 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 good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday Morning Jumpstart. This is Karen Hilton, founder and chief vision caster for the Rocky Vision Masterclass community. I am super thrilled you're here. Guess what? Come here. I want to tell you something. If you're watching this, I need to have a talk with you. Come on in. Come here. Just lean in for a moment. I know you're still kind of getting it together. It's Monday. Come on. That's good. It's a clean start, you guys. It's Monday. Clean start. Y'all know I love Mondays, and I say it all the time. Mondays are an opportunity to start fresh, right? It's
Right.
a clean slate. You get to do it all over again your way. All right. And I absolutely love that. I am so excited that you are here. We have an amazing show for you this morning. So, you know how we do it. Come on, get your coffee, get your tea, your water. See, everybody's got their stuff, right? We are going to be here for a minute. And you know what? Today's topic is learning to listen to your body. Come on. This is September, and that means that it's Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. And I am super excited to recognize that for lots of reasons we'll talk about in a moment. But one of the things that you'll see is there's a lot of teal going on here today, a lot of teal. And our guest of honor today is really popping it this morning. She is killing the teal, and she's going to tell you why in just a moment. So, hey, listen, if you are here in the live feed, do me a favor. A couple of things. First of all, thank you so much for being here and waking up with us on a Monday morning. Go ahead and just drop a note in the comments. If you are joining from either YouTube, if you're joining from where else might be we be joining from IG, anywhere outside of Facebook, pop your name in the comments because I might not be able to know that it's you. And I want to know that it's you. I want you to join the conversation with us. So let us know you're here. Say good morning. Give us a hands up, something like that that lets us know that you are excited about the fact that you get a clean slate. It's Monday and it's time to start all over. So come on in. We want to hear all that you've got to say about this. So we have a world-class panel today to talk about learning to listen to your body, and each one of them has something incredibly important to say on this topic. This is a dialogue, it's a chat. So come on in. We want to include you in here. And do me a favor, if you're in the live stream, go ahead and share this in your community. We want to get this conversation started. Wouldn't it be amazing if we got it going viral, panel? Isn't that right? We want to talk
Yeah.
about, we,
Yeah.
we want to equip people to learn to listen to their bodies. And this month, we're focused on women's health issues, gynecologic issues in particular. And speaking of which, I just need to say, and we're going to talk about it in a minute, but I got one of my boss dudes here. He is my brother from another mother. And y'all, he showed up for this topic. Can y'all give him some love? This is Jeff Bull. It's Jeff Bull.
Morning,
And he's awesome
everybody.
in more ways than one. First of all, it is the crack of dawn where he is. I mean, even the chickens are still getting the sleep out of their eyes. And there Jeff is. He's fully dressed and he's ready to go. Thank you so much, Jeff, for joining us. We're going to let you introduce yourself in a minute, but I just had to give you a shout out because this is going to be an amazing topic. And guess what? This issue applies to men and women. So if you are a guy, jump in the conversation. We want you to have a voice in this as well. Go ahead and let us know that you're here. We got Sajatha Lee. Hey, sis. Good morning. You made it. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. I'm pronouncing her name wrong. Sayatha, I think is how we say it. Sayatha. If I did that right, give me a thumbs up because I really want to get this right. I'm going to get it right. So when we see each other and we hug each other, I'm going to get your name right. Anyway, it is so good to see you in here. We got a couple other folks that are jumping in the stream. I may not be able to see you. So we've got one that says, hey, we've got one that says, good morning. Super glad you're here. Y'all put your names in the chat so I know that you're here, even if it's just a first name. I prefer first and last name. But we are a community, we're a family. And some of you may be wondering, what the heck is the Rocky Vision Masterclass community? Well, we are a group of entrepreneurs, professionals, community leaders. And really, we've got one big passion. We want to learn how to do life on our own terms, whether that means we work in the corporate sector, whether that means we are starting our own business or we already own our own business, or whether we're community leaders, or maybe you're COO or CEO of your own home. Y'all, that's a job. So we want to welcome you to come on in. There are three things that we focus on: getting focused, connecting to our purpose, and developing the perspective that we need to do life on our own terms, right? So, yeah, we've got a lot of awesome people in this community, and we want you to be a part. So, what do y'all have going on? What did you do this weekend? I need to hear a little bit of what y'all did this weekend. I'm super curious, and I know my panel wants to know. What did y'all do this weekend? It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and do introductions, and I'm going to start with the great Jeff Bull. Jeff, go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy, and then tell us what you did this weekend.
Absolutely. Well, morning. Thank you for having me again. Jeff Bull. I'm a systems engineering manager at Cisco, and I do a little coaching for folks as much as I can. And then this weekend, I rebuilt a fence. My son and I, my 5-year-old wanted a project, and he wanted to work on a little birdhouse we've been building for a bit. And so I decided my side yard fence was old, and why not rebuild it from scratch? So I did that.
Oh my gosh. And Jeff is like the master, like creator, builder person. Let's see. You built your shed that you're sitting in right now.
So,
that's actually a shed, y'all.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm actually in a shed in my backyard right now that I built as an office and did the whole thing myself. Yeah.
Yeah, from scratch. You built your pizza oven too, didn't you?
I did not. I bought that, but I do make everything from scratch that goes into the pizza oven.
Yes. We have followed him. And if you're not following him, Jeff, where can we follow you? Because I want people to get in on it right away.
You can find me at Jeff Bull Tech, TECH. So Jeff Bull Tech on all of the socials. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, just Jeff Bull Tech everywhere. And jeffbulltech.com.
Awesome. And Jeff, you're in California. Is that right? Did you say that?
I am. I'm in the East Bay. It was actually pretty good air quality all weekend, which was fantastic. I was able to be outside. It didn't start getting bad until yesterday afternoon. I think it's kind of today, but at least all weekend it was blue skies. So my son and I got out and took walks, and it was fantastic.
Awesome. Well, we're really glad you're here. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
We are always glad to have you in the show. And then we're going to go to the amazing Coach Kim Dudash. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I love it. Kim, tell us a little bit about you and what you do this weekend.
All right. Well, I'm Coach Kim Dudash. I work with leaders and teams to help them just become better, either individually or together. And so this weekend, what did I do? Of course, Brian and I spent some time at the farmer's market on Saturday morning. That's our typical summertime thing to do. And we have been traveling for a couple of weeks. So this weekend was a lot of pressure washing, cleaning, since the weather is cool. So we did a lot of home improvement also, Jeff. But those are the kind of weekends that I love. And we're just enjoying the beautiful fall-like weather that we've been having here in Tennessee. So yeah, it was beautiful, beautiful weekend.
Yeah. And where can people find you? And then you were going to mention my piglets.
Oh, yeah. So you can find me, Coach Kim Dudash, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, my website, dudashexecutivecoaching.com. And then also my husband, Brian, and I, we also own and operate Dudash Farms. So you can find us on all social media at Dudash Farms. And so we actually raise and sell grass-fed beef and pasture-raised pork. So that's what we do in our spare time.
Yeah, in their spare time. Y'all, this little area that they live in and Dudash Farms is absolutely God's country. It is absolutely stunning out there, and we love it. Thanks for joining us this morning, Kim.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. And then we were talking earlier, I'm actually going to have her on another show because she has an amazing story. I want her to I want to feature her story because she's doing some amazing things. Her name is Jennifer Jaki Johnson. Good morning, Jaki.
Good morning. Thank you so much again for having me. So yes, I am Jennifer Jaki Johnson. I'm the founder and CEO of Jetsetter Chic, where we provide chic, clean, and conscious solution-based wellness and clean skincare for women who travel avidly. So, throughout her entire travel journey, she's going through anxiety, bloating, jet lag. And so we are there to help her tap in.
All right. Oh my gosh. I want to get on a plane now for real. Okay. Well, we are so excited to have you, Jaki. Thank you for taking time. We wanted you to join in this conversation. You've been a great supporter, a new but great supporter of the Rock Your Vision Masterclass community. We're looking forward to getting to know you better and hearing a little bit more of your story a little bit today. But then we want to do a deep dive in a separate show. We're going to talk about that later. So welcome.
Thank you.
And then last but not least, we have our special guest, Miss Kim Simmons Emory. And Kim is the chairwoman, I think I'm getting that right, of the Georgia Ovarian Cancer Alliance. Y'all, I'm gonna need some help.
Need more coffee.
I know. And you can hear my dog barking in the background. And so I apologize for that. We have somebody coming to the door, so hopefully you can't hear that too bad. But anyway, Kim, we are so excited to have you today. Thank you for taking the time. Kim is going to tell her story a little bit, and she has a very kind of a very divine connection to the role that she's playing right now, and she is a powerhouse in her own right. Kim, would you introduce yourself to this amazing community? We want to hear a little bit about your story.
So again, my name is Kim Emory. I am a 14-year ovarian cancer survivor. So this journey has not been without, its stumbles and bumbles and everything. So my job here today is to empower women and men. And I'm so glad that we have a man on our panel this morning. Because ovarian cancer touches all aspects of the family life.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm here today to do. And Karen, if I can just jump in and start telling my story.
Go for it.
My story, like I said, started over 14 years ago. I had all the classic symptoms of ovarian cancer. I had the bloating, the nausea, the pelvic pain, fatigue, feeling full after just eating maybe a cracker. My stomach was bloated. So those are mostly the classic symptoms of ovarian cancer. So I had these symptoms almost every day. And sometimes they would be at a 10, sometimes a 5, sometimes they would be at a 25. So, the intensity, it was not your normal stomach ache. So, I'd been back and forth to my primary care physician. She was sending me here and there for testing. I went to the GI doctor. I went to 2 GI doctors, as a matter of fact. One GI doctor told me there was nothing wrong with me and that it was in my mind. So I gave him a piece of my mind and a lesson in bedside manner to let him know that he was not just dealing with an ordinary patient. As I navigated this medical community, I started finding myself trying to, find my power in this thing where I felt powerless. So one day I went to my job, and similar to something like this, we were having a lunch and learn. And they brought in this organization, the Georgia Ovarian Cancer Alliance. And I always say I am their poster child, because when those women in 1998, the 13 women in 1998, wanted to make a community, they were thinking about me. So the Georgia Ovarian Cancer Alliance came to my job. There was a woman speaking, telling us about the symptoms and the risk of ovarian cancer. And she left a risk and symptom card. A lot of women had questions because, of course, when you hear bloating and nausea, these are things that happen to women, almost every month. So a lot of women had questions. And people were sitting over. I went back to my desk, put the card inside my desk, and continued to get sicker every day, coming in, to my job, just sick, tired, all kinds of things. So one day, I opened my desk, and it was like the card was glowing, screaming, "Read me, read me, read me, look at me, pick me up." So when I picked up the card, I actually finally looked at the card. And I was like, bloating, check. Abdominal pain, check. Fatigue, check. Feeling full after eating, check. I was like, wait a minute. I have all these symptoms. So I called my healthcare provider back, because at one point in time, I was going to the doctor almost monthly, once a month, with some kind of, I was bloating, what's going on? And she was sending me to have different tests, and everything was coming back. There's nothing. And so that day, when I took that card to her office, it was like a light bulb went off in her head. And she finally put all those symptoms together and told me that she thought I may have ovarian cancer.
Wow.
Well, hey, where do we go from where? Okay, so now I might have ovarian cancer. Where do we go from here? Where do I go from here?
Had you ever heard of ovarian cancer?
I had never heard of ovarian cancer. My mother passed away of breast cancer. So that's all I knew at that time was breast cancer. I never heard of ovarian cancer before. I had never heard of gynecologic cancers before. So when she told me ovarian cancer, I immediately went to my computer and started researching.
Sure.
And I found deadly, words like deadly, silent, killer. Freaked me out.
And by the way, getting on the internet, getting on the interwebs for anything will absolutely, like, you want to lock the doors, shut down the shades, and do all like that. But Kim, for just a moment, September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah, it is.
And so you'll see
teal.
We got teal balloons here. I'm going to do the butterfly challenge, and I'm going to try not to cry. This is for my mama who died of ovarian cancer. And you can see Kim is bedecked in teal, and she's going to tell us in a moment what that means.
Right. So I'm going to go right into that, because teal for our community is a clarion call to action.
Wow.
To take early action and live.
Ooh, I love it.
So that's what teal means to us in the ovarian cancer community. And that clarion call is why I am here today, because there was women before me who decided that they would start an organization where we would talk about educating women. And that's where the Georgia Ovarian Cancer Alliance has come in.
Wow.
So going back to 2006, when I was diagnosed, I was diagnosed with a rare form of ovarian cancer.
Oh, wow.
And at 39, at the time, I was 39 years old, and it was rare for me. It was a germ cell, and most younger women between 2 or 16 months and 22 get a germ cell. And when you hear me say a 2-year-old, if you have ovaries, you can get ovarian cancer. So we have a 2-year-old in our community. Well, we had a 2-year-old. I think Kenny is now like 3 or 4, surviving ovarian cancer. So for me, I went through 62 straight days. That was the protocol for me of chemotherapy. I had 3 drugs for 8 hours a day.
Wow.
And
hold on a second. Let me stop right there. So the fact that you're a 14-year survivor is significant. Because for those of you in the cancer community, you understand how powerful those drugs are and how they affect your body. And let me just take a moment to say that I think we probably have some folks from the Georgia Ovarian Cancer Alliance here or watching, or who will watch it on the replay. I just want to say thank you for the work that you're doing. I want to say thank you to Doug Barron, who connected me with Kim Emory. He was like immediately he was just gushing with his passion around this topic and his love and respect for you, Kim. And so I think it's really important to just reinforce that it really does take all of us to look at diseases like this. And let me just also say that we are looking at this. We're asking Kim to tell her story, not because we want people to feel afraid, but because we want people to feel empowered. And with that, I want to talk for a second. I want to go back to something that you said, Kim, about being in the doctor's office and having that, that doctor tell you. And by the way, Kim and my mom's story is very, very similar. Now, my mom was diagnosed when she was in her 70s, but mom was that type of person, like many from her generation, who never complained. Oh, I'm fine. Go ahead and do it. She'd cook and clean and go to work and do all of these things. And she didn't, it never occurred to her to stop and take care of herself. It never occurred to her to trust her own body. So Kim, you were sitting there in the doctor. And if this is you, by the way, if you are in the live stream and you've been to the doctor and somebody did not listen to you, just give me a high five or a thumbs up. Let me know if you've ever had that experience, because it's horrible, right?
Right.
Most of us go to the doctor and we're like, we go because there's something wrong.
Right.
But in my mother's case, she went to all kinds of doctors and they said, oh yeah, it's just reflux. Oh, it's just whatever. And there is a protocol. I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV, but my father-in-law is a physician, a retired physician, and an amazing retired physician. I love him dearly. And I work in the healthcare community. So let me just say, this is not a bash on the healthcare community. We need our healthcare providers more than ever. We love our healthcare providers. We respect our healthcare providers. And it is also true that the healthcare system is incredibly complex. It is also true that, healthcare workers are not magicians and they're not God. They're going through a set of protocols to try to make sure that we're not treating something that we're not over treating, right? But at the same time, as a patient, today we're talking about the patient experience. And so, Kim, you're sitting there, your doctor is saying, yeah, it's probably just this, that, or the other. Or I think he said it was all in your mind. What made you, where did you get that fire to say, hold on a second, I'm not here for my head. It's not in my head.
Yeah, Karen, I knew something was wrong. I knew something was wrong with me. I was consistently going to the doctor saying, I'm bloated. I'm nauseous all of the time. I'm feeling full quickly. I have pelvic pain. Something is wrong. And I continue to say all of those things. So sometimes it's just saying it and finally getting someone to actually hear you, hear those words. And I never back down. My husband was like, change doctors, go somewhere else. Let's do something different. So those are the things that I was doing. I was going here and I was going there. I was taking whatever test. But here's what we have to do. We we have to also reach out to those organizations that are out there, like the Georgia Ovarian Cancer Alliance. And they already have doctors, that you can they recommend doctors you can go to, if you're tired of going to the same doctor hearing the same thing. I always tell women, you are the consumer. So if you're not getting what you need from the doctor, you can move on to another doctor. And finally get some answers to what is wrong with you. With me, the reason why I stayed with my doctor was because she was sending me, she wasn't just blowing me off. She was sending me other places so that she and I both could, because she was my primary care physician. When we had a conversation later on after my treatment and everything, and she wanted to have a conversation with me, because she did too feel that she had failed me at some point. Mm-hmm. I was telling her, you did not blow me off like a lot of doctors, mm-hmm. Like that GI doctor blowed me off.
So let's talk about that for a minute, because I think it's important. You said two things that I think are important, and I think they're two sides of the coin, right?
Right.
So the power play is, first of all, listen to your body.
Right.
Your body will speak to you.
Right.
Come on, that's good, y'all. Your body will speak.
Your body will tell you.
Right.
And your intuition. Listen.
And your intuition. Come on, that's good.
Listen to it. Listen to yourself.
Yes.
And that's what I was doing. I was listening to Kim, but I was also sick and tired. Some days I wanted to just pull the covers over my head and shut everything out, because I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired.
But I think this whole idea of the fact that you were nauseous all the time. My mother was nauseous all the time, and we kept saying to her, I didn't live terribly close. I had a infant at the time, and so I lived, almost 2 hours away from her. So, and my husband traveled all the time, so he was gone most of the time. Oh, by the way, and I was working, so it was not easy for me to just get up and go. And by the way, if you're a caregiver and you are in the stream, would you do me a favor and just pop a note in the comments? Give me a heart. If you're a caregiver, you are caring for someone, whether they have ovarian cancer or anything else, Alzheimer's, whatever. If you are a caregiver, do me a favor. If you are watching this on the live stream, give me a heart in the comments and just let me know that you're here. I've got something for you. To all of our caregivers, Kim, to your husband who encouraged you, go to the doctor, go to the doctor. That is one of the great examples of, men championing the healthcare causes of women. So one of the power plays is listen to your body. The second power play is, if your doctor is treating you poorly, if you feel like you're not being heard, whether they intend to or not isn't the issue. The majority of doctors are amazing. They're there because they want to be there. There are all kinds of challenges with the healthcare system, but most doctors are amazing, right? But if you feel like you cannot, you are not being heard, go get a second opinion. And let me just tell you this, that if you say, I don't have time to seek out another doctor, you don't have time to not seek out another doctor, boo. Right. You need to go find another doctor, right? That's the second thing. The flip side of that, the other side of that coin is, it may be, as in Kim's case, I think this is such a great example, and shout out to your doctor. Her doctor recognized that what Kim was dealing with was outside of her area of expertise. So there is a partnership that can happen with a doctor. Don't be mad because they don't understand exactly all that you're going through. Doctors, again, are not magicians and they're not God. But so long as you feel like you have a partnership with your doctor, that they are listening to you, that they are following up and all that kind of thing, that's important. Listen to those kinds of things and trust yourself. It is important. I talk to my mom all the time. Let's go get another doctor. And here's the role I played as a caregiver. And for just a moment, let's see, Jeff Bull actually put a heart. Jeff is a caregiver, and I want to hear his experience for just a moment. Jeff, you are a caregiver right now. Tell us a little bit about your experience and what kind of this whole listening to your body thing. What do you have to say about that?
I'm super glad that we're bringing that up. And Kim, you made a really, really good point. My wife doesn't have ovarian cancer, but she's recovering from chemo and radiation right now from squamous cell carcinoma. And when she was first starting to really feel bad, she waited too long, and she admits it, and she beats herself up for it all the time. And I try to help reinforce for her not to do that, because you can't do that to yourself. What she realized, though, is, and one of her oncologists told her that when she was calling into Kaiser trying to get an appointment, it's right in the middle of COVID, so no one wants to bring people physically in the hospital unless it's like life or death at that moment. And she just kept pushing, I need an appointment, and just finally got someone to say, yes, come on in. And once she started treatment, one of her doctors told her that probably saved your life. That constant persistence and just telling you, get in here. Now, she's not in a position where it was like 2 days later she would have died. It's nothing like that. But the point the person was trying to make is that by you being persistent and getting diagnosed when you did, allowed us to start the treatment when we could start it, and go very aggressive with radiation and all that sort of thing. So it was a really good thing that she just was persistent. The challenge, of course, has been since then that she finished which is awesome. She finished both her radiation and chemo 3 weeks ago as of tomorrow. So she's been out of treatment for 3 weeks. Obviously things are still swelling's coming down and all that. So hopefully in about 4 or 5 weeks, they can do another MRI and see how things are going. The challenge has been since that point is that she's in pain, she's recovering. So she's in bed probably now about 60% of the time. That was like 90% 2 weeks ago, which is awesome. So she's up more. My son, we're dealing with things that we have a 5-year-old. He's got all these big feelings and doesn't really know why mom's in bed all the time. So I would encourage him to go say hi to her. And he's like, no, I don't really want to. Like, how do you tell a 5-year-old to just go play with your mom? Like it's a hard conversation to have. And then you compound it with like terrible air quality. He has cystic fibrosis. So when the air quality is bad, I can't take him outside. So it's just, you never realize until you get into these places, especially as, someone, a husband or any partner, sitting outside of it, like trying to help. There is you feel like there's only so much you can do. And that is
you also have a job.
Is like, oh yeah. And yeah, I have a full-time job. I mean, it is tough. It is tough. You don't realize how tough it can be until you're in the position. I mean, you just have to do it. There is no like, well, maybe I can hire somebody. No, it's like, you're just in this position. You're here to help and you do the best you can. It's hard though. And it's not just physically hard. It's mentally and it's emotionally straining when you have, children, your partner suffering and still trying to feel better, trying to work and also trying to stay sane and healthy for yourself. That's really difficult.
I really appreciate you sharing that, Jeff. And for all of you that are caregivers out there, again, if you are a caregiver, just give me a heart in the comments. I'd like to know that you're here. I've got something for you. And by the way, while we're kind of still in the middle of the conversation, I just want to encourage you again, if you are here, welcome. We're so glad you're here. We're talking about listening to your body. This is September. That means it's Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. And our special guest, Miss Kim Emory from the Georgia Ovarian Cancer Alliance, is our special guest. But we also have some other guests. So I want to bring them into the conversation around this topic of what does it mean to listen to your body? And I want to ask Miss Jennifer Jaki Johnson to comment on this. What does it mean to listen to your body?
Well, I would say to me, listening to your body means really providing that sacred space to tap in and to see, how am I feeling? What is going on internally and my spirit, all your mind, body, and soul. You can't disconnect any of those. You have to really address all of those. I know plenty of times people sort of just sit only on the mental health specter of what we're going through, but we can't eliminate looking at also the social, the emotional, the physical. Like you have to look at the whole entity of the mind, body, and soul. So it's truly tapping within to see how you're feeling and giving yourself that sacred space to do so. We're so on the go at times that we tend to just sort of ignore. And Karen, you alluded to that too, with your mom, with, just in regards to just being on the go, being strong, having that superpower as a woman, where we don't even take care of what's really going on internally. So making that time to say, let me go within.
Yeah. And, I think this community is full of leaders of all kinds. I mean, we've got CEOs and, stay-at-home moms and stay-at-home dads and kind of everything in between. And one of the things that I think is true about this generation of leaders that we have in this community and beyond is that we're accustomed to, go, 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 go. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to go do that. And we spend so much time on the go that we discount. Okay. We discount. So what does that mean? It means, oh yeah, I know I've had a headache for 3 weeks, but it's fine. I mean, I always have headaches. Right.
Right.
Yeah. I know that, I know that my shoulder has been throbbing, or this little bump that I feel. Oh, it's always been there. I've had that since I was a kid. Or here's the big one. And I'm gonna get in y'all's stuff today. Here's the big one. I'm going to put off my annual checkup.
Right.
I just got in somebody's business. I'm going to put off my annual checkup because fill in the blank.
Right.
And I cannot tell you, when my mother died or when she was ill, I knew I didn't feel well, but I attributed it to just being exhausted. Come on. I'm about to get into somebody's stuff for real. I attributed it to just being exhausted. I was raising a toddler. I was raising, 2 teenage girls. Lord help me. I was on 24/7 caregiving duty for my mother. And for me, I'm a little extra. I have on leopard pants today, so you can't see them, but I'm a little extra in every way. And so when I took care of my mom, we eventually moved her in with us. So that meant I cleaned her room every single day, top to bottom, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Caregivers, you want to do the best for your folks, right? We did home cooked meals. We did all of those things. And for the longest time, I did not ask for help. So I was doing it all by myself. I would work a 16-hour day, right? I'd come home a little bit early if I could. And then I'd try to take care of mom, give her her medicines, all that sort of thing. And never mind if she was sick in the middle of the night. Come on, this is not glamorous stuff, but it's real. And so many caregivers are going through that and having to then show up at work and be like, yes, I'm fine.
Right.
Sure, everything's fine, right? Or showing up in your circles where people are like, well, you look great. Come on out. Let's go do whatever, right? Those are very real things that happen to caregivers. But here's the thing. Once mom passed away and I took 3 months and slept, and then I started going to the doctor myself because I couldn't shake that feeling. I ended up having 2 biopsies. Okay. I ended up needing to see a therapist, should have been seeing a therapist earlier. There were all these things that as a caregiver, I should have been doing. So the legacy that Kim is living right now, she is a living legacy. Why? Because she's going back into the community and planting seeds. She's teaching people about ovarian cancer. She's telling her story. She's doing all those things. Jeff is sharing his experience as a caregiver. Jennifer is in that space of health and wellness. And I'm so excited Jaki is in that space of health and wellness. Coach Kim, I think you have something really, really important to say on this topic of listening to your body. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of what's your perspective on this?
Well, Karen, I was listening to you just talk about how as a professional, and I can say this about myself, I get so busy. I'm an achiever. I'm an independent woman, all these things. And there was a time in my life where I was not listening to my body, and I really justified everything, just like you said. It's like, well, I'm tired because I keep a busy schedule, and I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to be a leader. I'm trying to do all these things, and you just discount how you're feeling. And I'm an achiever. I push myself, and it's just because I'm pushing myself. And I got to a place where my body starts working against me.
Yeah.
And so I started going to the doctor about that. And, Kim, just like you were saying, to go to different specialists. And I had all of these physicians that were telling me all of these terrible things that were wrong with me. And you need to go on this medication, and you need to go on this medication. And thankfully, I came across this one physician that just really worked with me. And she said, Kim, your body is exhausted. And we need to just take some time and get it back. If you will allow me to work with you for the next year, I'm going to show you that when you are when you're giving your body the correct nutrition, when you're giving your body the rest that it needs, when you're giving your mind time to rest, then your soul is able to rest. And I just appreciate that. I mean, for me, I felt like God gave me someone that was teaching me how to just listen to my body. And I will tell you that within a year, I probably felt, I felt better than I had ever felt in my life. I was healthier than I'd ever been in my life. And so that moment in my life really taught me the importance of listening to my body. Now, do I do it as well as I should? No, because I have to work on that mental part that is a pusher, is a driver, is an achiever, so I have to take time, just like Jaki was saying, to just take a minute and make sure that I am connecting my soul and my spirit and my emotions. Like Jeff was saying, I have to just take a minute and force myself to just be still, just be, and make sure that I'm listening. And just, we have to take action, right? I mean, once you find something, once you feel, like Kim said, once you feel that something's not right, take action. And if your physician doesn't specialize in the particular ailment that you're feeling, go to someone else. They're all very talented, and they're very well educated, but they specialize in particular things. So go find someone who specializes in what you're dealing with at that moment.
This is so
I love
good.
this topic.
This idea, and Jaki mentioned it, of connecting the mind, the body, the spirit, connecting those pieces. Listen to me. If y'all don't remember anything else, listen to this. You are not a one-dimensional person. I don't care who you are, male, female, gay, straight, Democrat, Republican. You are not a one-dimensional person. And so being able to connect all of those elements is one of the strategies that we can use, right? This is a power play. Connecting all of those elements is one of the strategies that we can use to validate and verify what we need. It's amazing to have a community. It's amazing to have a partner. But if you don't have a partner, if you are not close by to your family or not close to your family, do not sit around and wait for somebody else to give you permission to take care of yourself. Do not sit and wait for somebody to validate or to affirm that you don't feel well. They are not you. Listen to your body. Everybody say listen. Everybody in the comments, I need y'all to pop in the comments and type #listen. Okay?
Listen.
This is good.
To the body. And listen with the intent of finding the answer. Just not, listen. And what I tell women, so when I was going back and forth, I was not intentional when I went to the doctor. So I I would go and say, oh, my stomach hurt. I have abdominal pain. Well, in essence, it wasn't, I had abdominal pain, but I also had pelvic pain. You have to be honest with your doctor too. I had pain during intercourse. There were other things that were happening too, but I was focused on the abdominal pain. Oh, my stomach hurt. I can't eat. I'm bloated. But there were other things that were happening too. So now I tell women to be intentional. Write it down. Write where it hurts. And if you have to take that piece of paper to your doctor and say, here is where it hurts,
Come on.
So you have to be intentional too. So we tell women, if these symptoms are unusual for you, last more than 3 weeks, get in to see your healthcare provider. Amazing. Go in with a symptom diary. On Monday, this is what I felt. On Tuesday, that's how we are empowering women now to go in and be intentional with your doctors, telling them this is what hurts.
You said something earlier, Kim. You said we're the consumer.
Right.
I think we have given away so much of our power and so much of our voice.
Right.
But to remember, you paying for them benefits.
Exactly.
Okay. Whether you're a taxpayer or whether you are in a corporate environment, those benefits are there for you to use.
Right.
And to be clear, there is so much I know it feels like you're just in a conversation with that healthcare provider and they run the world. They don't run the world. You run your world.
Right.
So again, if you're not feeling like you've got an answer, or somebody gives you, a diagnosis and it doesn't get better, you need to go back and say, is that your final answer? Right. Or you need to, like we talked about earlier, but I have a question. One of the questions that came in earlier is about personal habits. So listen to this. This is really good. So some of what we need to examine is our own personal habits, right? Not from a place of judgment, but from a place of disrupting our own comfort zones. Okay. So there is some of it that is external, right? Somebody's not listening to me, but it goes back to that listening to your body, not from a place of judgment, but owning, some of the habits that I have: running too hard, staying up too late, right, eating the wrong foods, not getting enough sleep. Come on, y'all. I'm preaching to the choir. I know, but this is good. Amen, Karen. That's good. All of those things, those are personal habits. There are things that we can do to realign and recenter our health. And I know all about it. I run 2 businesses and I have a preteen who's in sports and has a broken wrist. And I've got 2 adult daughters, There are all these things that we have going on. But I need this community. I need you to share this. I need you to share this live stream right now. We want to get the conversation started. I need you to have something. I need you to pop into your social. I need you to pick up the phone. I need you to check on the women in your life. And we're talking about ovarian cancer, but there are lots of other gynecologic cancers. This amazing thing that we have that's called a body is amazing, and it will talk to you. So when you hear that, examining our own personal habits. Jeff, can you talk about that a little bit? Like, what does that actually mean to you? Examining our own habits when it comes to listening to our bodies.
It's a really good question. For us, it has been, and I mean, being totally honest, for both of us, over the last year or so, we have allowed ourselves to be probably way too busy and like internalized in our own home and our own family to actually like go to the doctor and get regular checkups. We moved from where we lived north of San Francisco here to the East Bay in California a little over a year ago, and neither of us has set up a dentist. I'll be just being honest. We haven't set up a dentist yet. I only recently got an eye doctor appointment. Haven't really got a new doctor set up yet. And in the moment when you're moving quick, it feels like, yeah, okay, that's something I can do later on. And then a year and a half goes by and you're like, I haven't been to the doctor in almost 2 years.
Right.
I don't feel bad. clearly that is not that is not a good reason to not go to the doctor, especially if you're lucky enough, like I am, to have good medical insurance. Like, go. You should be going. And I think that's one of the hardest parts for us is, we get out and we go take walks. Before her treatments, we'd go take walks. We try to do those things that we can do, but you let yourself get moving so fast and get so focused on this thing that's right in front of you, which is day-to-day life, that you forget to stop and just kind of take a breath and just step back and go, yeah, but what else should I be doing for myself? And it's the hardest thing in the world. It's something I'm actively dealing with right now personally, and my wife is very clearly dealing with every single day. Is she can't get up and exercise. She can't get up and take walks. It's too painful. I can, but I'm not, because I feel like I need to be focused here, which is a different set of problems too. So I don't have a good answer. All I can say is the thing I recommend to everybody, whether it's people who work on my team, friends and family, is you just have to find little things, not to focus too much on like physical fitness necessarily, but a 5-minute workout is still a workout.
Yes.
Taking a video on YouTube and watching in front of your TV, it's still a workout. It doesn't have to be, I worked out at the gym for an hour and a half. Like that doesn't matter. Like, you just need to do something. Those little somethings all add up into one big thing. Those
little somethings add up into one big thing. That's the quote of this show, right? Little things add up into big things. You talked about something that really resonates with me in my own story. When I was a caregiver, again, I was running an international HR division for a global tech company. So I had major pressure. It was not something I could just walk away from or whatever at the time. I eventually did. But there was an incredible amount of guilt that I felt as a caregiver, feeling like I couldn't step away. Like when I came home, I would hand my kids off and then I would go, to my mom. Now that's my own personal story, but that guilt actually drove the bad habit of not taking care of myself. So I didn't wait, or I waited too long to ask for help. We actually had resources, and I want to talk about that next. We had resources through the hospital and through the Ovarian Cancer Institute, where mom was getting care. But I was like, no. I got it. I don't want anybody coming into my home. And at the time, my mom was like, yeah, I'm not really sure I want anybody in here. And it was very important to respect her needs. But at some point, as the caregiver, you've heard that saying, you can't pour out of an empty cup. And so I finally was just like, Mom, we're getting help. And let me just tell you, those caregivers that came into the home that would sometimes just change her sheets or walk her from one end of the house to the other so I could go do something. I remember the first nap I ever took, or the first nap I ever tried to take while my mom was home, and I had somebody come into the home. And by the way, that was covered under my mother's insurance. Okay, so y'all need to be looking at what your insurance covers, right? Whether you're getting your own care or whether you are a caregiver and need support. The first nap I ever tried to take, I laid there like this. I was like, I can't sleep. But I had to create the personal habit of resting, even if it was just going into the other room. So I cannot tell you how often caregivers deal with that guilt. I think it's actually called caregiver's guilt. Jennifer, I want to ask you, I'm sorry, Jaki, what role do women folk play in our personal care protocols? So our sisters, our girlfriends, what role do women play in helping each other take care of each other?
I would have to say listening, because it all starts with listening.
Yeah.
You have that girlfriend who calls you to tell you stuff, and she's telling you what's going on, what she's dealing with, how she's feeling. And, sometimes people don't know that there's buildup there when they're conversating with you, but you listening, you can say, I think you're dealing with this. I think you have this. Have you checked this out? Have you went to a doctor? Just because you start to see the symptoms and you start to see the consistency of it, they're just speaking of it, but they're not realizing that something is really going on inside. So I think, really good girlfriends are truly listening and not hearing They are listening. And so they can go back and they can, regurgitate exactly what you said. They can pinpoint, I think something's going on with your stomach. I think something's going on, with your feet. Whatever it is that you're talking about consistently, we do tend to tap into each other by being really good listeners to each other.
Yeah, I have a girlfriend who lives down the street from me. Her name is Shireen Douglas. She is one of my besties, one of my boos, and she will call me. Now, this was pre-COVID. She'll call me and she'll be like, "I'm coming to get you. We're going to eat. I haven't seen you. I haven't heard from you or whatever." And we're both CEOs. We're both busy moms. I think just being able to check on each other, and that's true for men as well. I've got some of my best friends in the world. My play big brother, Mark, reached out to me last night, and he was like, "I haven't seen you. I'm coming over on Friday. I'm off on Friday. I'm coming over on Friday. So get the house ready, get my room ready." And I absolutely love that. We all need those people. And so I would just say, that community of care. Kim Emory, I would love for you, just as we get ready to wrap up and we're focusing on learning to listen to your body, what would you say to those women in particular who are out there who maybe, have not been to the doctor in a long time because they're busy or they're afraid of what's going on with COVID? What would you say to them that maybe are curious, should I even go to the doctor right now?
Most definitely. You need to go to the doctor. You need to, like I said before, be intentional. And even in this day of COVID, if it's a televisit, dial in to your doctor. Just go somewhere because no one should be sick consistently every day. You should not be in pain. You should be able to live a happy life. So go to the doctor.
Yes.
Wherever you need to go to make yourself feel better.
Yes.
So, and like Jaki was saying, find a tribe. That's what I call my good girlfriends and sometimes and my guy friends, my tribe. Go to your tribe,
Yeah.
That's what I did in this thing. I found me a good tribe that was there to help.
Now you've got us, so we're part of your tribe too.
Right. And thank you. And Jeff, don't feel like you can't talk about ovarian cancer because the statistics of ovarian cancer is called a silent killer for a reason. And usually the men are left to tell our stories because a lot of women die from ovarian cancer. I'm just going to throw out a statistic. For me, if you are diagnosed as stage 1 and stage 2, you have a 92% chance of living past 5 years. That's stage 1 and stage 2, the earlier. Now, stage 3 and stage 4, the statistic drastically reduced to 22%.
Wow.
So you go from early diagnosis at 92% living past 5 years, a 5-year survival rate, to 3 and 4, 22%. Who is left but our caregivers, which are our husbands, our partners, our children, are left to tell our stories.
I love it.
So that's the one thing I want to leave with you, that dire statistic that early detection saves lives.
And I thank you for sharing that. That is so powerful. And here's the thing. The message here is one of hope. The message here is of empowerment. You are empowered to acknowledge your body, right? Before you ever go to the doctor, you first have to acknowledge your body, what your body is telling you, what your body is trying to speak to you. When my husband and I first met, he had a low-grade fever, and he worked out a lot, and he just didn't feel well. It was kind of a general malaise. That is not normal. And so I kept saying to him, I'm like, hey, you're really cute, but you shouldn't like be feeling like that all the time. Like we were seriously newly dating. And he was like, well, that happens to me quite a bit. And that's just what my body's telling. I'm like, that ain't right. Like, you cute, but don't stay stuck on stupid. Yeah, don't stay stuck on stupid. But anyway, come to find out, he had something really serious going on. And so I think this whole idea of, listening to your body and knowing that being well is a matter of dignity. That's a matter of dignity. I don't care who you are, finding a way to tap into resources. And so for just a second, I want to talk about resources. Kim, I want to talk for just a really quick minute, and then I want to just give some other ideas. I want to get some brainstorming about resources and places people can tap in, because the reality is that lots of our community members are working, but some of our community members are not working. And that is one of the things that can happen, is that if you feel like you do not have access to healthcare, you will not go to the doctor. You won't even think about paying attention to what your body is telling you, because you'll just, take an aspirin and keep it moving. Kim, can you tell us, where can we find the Georgia Ovarian Cancer Alliance?
So the Georgia Ovarian Cancer Alliance can be found at gaovariancancer.org.
Okay.
And we have resources. We have doctors. We have some of the programs that we do. We do a Let's Talk TOT. We're actually doing one on the 27th, which is a virtual free event. We're doing it with one of our community partners. We also do what we call Survivors Teaching Students, Saving Women's Lives, where we go into the medical community and we take survivors and we have them tell their stories from when they were sick to diagnosis, so that third and fourth year medical students, nurses can hear this and it will resonate when they are out, in their own practices or practicing medicine. When they hear a woman come in, and they can think about ovarian cancer first instead of last, because that's what usually happens.
Yeah.
We have a Bag of Hope program where we send the Bag of Hope to newly diagnosed women. And inside that bag is everything that woman is going to need on her journal. We have her journey. We have a journal, we have pen, we have a warm, fuzzy blanket. But most important, inside that bag is a lot of information about what is going to happen with chemo, the neuropathy, the nausea, how you can, lemon heads. That's what I did to quell my nausea, was I popped lemon heads like they were, aspirins.
So we tell, like, you've got resources available at the website and through the Georgia Ovarian Cancer Alliance. And I want to encourage all of you. I donated to the Georgia Ovarian Cancer Alliance in memory of my mom. And you don't have to be somebody who either has ovarian cancer or knows somebody. You can just donate, because it's an amazing organization to donate to. For just a moment, I want to pop over to Jaki. Jaki, you are in the health and wellness space. And you spend, I don't know where that echo, can y'all hear that? That's just driving me nuts. Anyway, you spend time helping women to be healthy. Could you just real quickly give us some examples of ways people can either tap into the resources that you have? You've got some great products and services, but also just in general, where can women and the folks that care for them tap into resources to help them feel well?
Yeah. So first, let me just say there's so much power in the power of now. Eckhart Tolle tells us that there's no other time but now. So this is the time to tap in. And I would say with intention and even with meditation, intention and meditation will allow you to see what is going on from within. And so for us, we're really focused heavily on women who are traveling, because in that travel process, you're so rushed. You don't want to slow anyone else down. You're just, from the moment you get to the airport, you have to check in, go to TSA. Everything is like anxiety, stress. It's a process. It's a process. And so for us on our social media channels, we are very focused on providing all the different ways to manage that self-care, to sort of give you the power to be your own shiro again, and to take that back in the travel journey. Because right now in the travel journey, you don't feel like this is your journey. It's like, I have to get to the gate, have to get on the plane. Did I get the window seat? Oh, I'm in the middle seat. Oh, then COVID is here now. And so there's that next extra layer of consumer sentiment in terms of, is travel okay for me? Am I going to be okay? Outside of COVID, are there any other exposures to any of the viruses or pathogens in the air? And so everyone is really on like that high level of concern. So that's pre-COVID and now during COVID and most likely post-COVID. And so, so we're providing those resources on our social media channels to just really balance yourself. Again, to tap in, to take back your power, and just start that day off, if anything, with intention and meditation. Because when you sit and you meditate and you ground yourself, you will feel yourself. You would know what's going on, and you will also start to see any symptoms that are consistent. You will feel them, because in that meditation, you're so quiet that you can feel what's going on within your body. But meditation can help you tap into what's going on.
I really love that. I love this idea that we can listen to our bodies. We are empowered to do that. And let me just say this, that, this session, this program today, this show was all about learning to listen to your body. This is a good news story. One of the things that I recognize as someone who, needs unicorns and rainbows, I believe in unicorns and rainbows, just so we're clear. I need that in my life. That helps me keep going, that there's something good somewhere in the world, right? So I, as a young person, was always afraid to hear the hard stuff. But this is big girl stuff, right? This is adulting, right?
Right.
We want to be ahead, and we want to be proactive. And let me just say, if you are in the middle of a health journey, you are empowered to take care of yourself. I love Jeff's story where he's, encouraging and helping and supporting his wife to be able to take care of herself during this time. There is a season for everything. There is a season when I am no good to anybody, where I need to step back and listen to my body, or rest, or sleep, or not answer the phone, or say no to contracts, or whatever. That is a form of listening to your body. Come on, that's good, y'all. All of that is a part of listening to your body. And remember that kind of interconnectedness of the mind, body, and soul. Those are not mutually exclusive, right? They come in contact together, and they make you who you are. You're not a one-dimensional person. Listen to me. I say it all the time. Y'all know this, and I'm going to say it again. You have more options than you realize. If you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling like, you know what, I really don't know where to go to get help with this health issue, there are so many community resources. Google, instead of Googling your symptoms, Google community healthcare. Come on, that's good. Instead of Googling your symptoms, which you've probably already done, Google community healthcare and find healthcare in your area that will help you get connected with the provider that can, at the very minimum, give you some ideas about where to go next. I want all of us just to go around and just give one final word to this amazing community about learning to listen to your voice. And then if you would also let us know where we can find you. I want this amazing community to know where they can find our amazing panelists. And if you're still in the live stream, would you do me a favor and just thank this amazing panel? Each one of them has had some really good nuggets to share. I'm hoping to have all of them featured. Again, Kim's been on the show. Jeff's been on the show. I cannot wait to get Miss Jaki all by her lonesome when I can talk to her on the show and you guys can hear her story. But Kim Emory, real quickly, one final thing, one quick thing that you want to share with this community about this whole topic of learning to listen to your body, and then let us know where we can find you.
So my last thing, I want women to advocate for themselves.
It's good.
I want them to educate themselves on the signs and the symptoms of ovarian cancer, so that you can help the next woman. Because there are so many women who sit on my shoulders, who talk to me. I met so many impressive women in this space that I'm in now.
Yeah.
So you can find me on Instagram. I am Overcome06 on Instagram and Twitter.
And that's OVACOM.
OVACOM06.
Okay.
And on Facebook, I am Kimberly Simmons Emory.
Awesome. You have been an absolute inspiration. We're looking forward to staying connected, like seriously connected. We're going to get involved with some of these communities around ovarian cancer, especially me. And on behalf of my family, Kim Emory, you are a walking miracle. I'm going to cry.
Thank you.
I wish that my mom could have met you, but I know that you carry her spirit, and I'm so grateful.
I do.
I'm so grateful for the work that you do.
Thank
Coach
you.
Kim Dudash, how can we reach you? Maybe one final parting word for this amazing community around learning to listen to your body.
Karen, I think as I listen to everyone, it reminds me how we as women, we tend to put ourselves last, right? We think, I'm a mom, I have to be a strong mom. I'm a wife, I have to be a strong wife. I'm a woman in the workforce. I have to prove to everybody that I'm strong. And so we always, or we tend to put ourselves last. So I just think we need to challenge our patterns of thinking and realize that we can't do any of those things unless we take care of the only vessel that we have. I mean, it's our God-given vessel. It encompasses everything about us. And if we don't take care of that, we have nothing. So that would be my final word. And you can find me. I am Dudash Executive Coaching. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Coach Kim Dudash, and I'd love to connect with you. So thank you again, Karen, for allowing me to be a part of this. It's been wonderful. And thank you, Kim Emory. I just love your story, and I appreciate the fact that you are out there sharing it so women can learn and be empowered to take the bull by the horns and take care of
Jeff
themselves.
Bull, one final word to this amazing community, and where can people find you?
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about this here more just a minute ago. And this one's, I don't think it's just directed at men, but I would say definitely men are afflicted by this a lot. And I know this because I'm dealing with it myself, is you need to phone a friend. Not to be too flip about it, but I've realized more so in the last 2 weeks that I'm just terrible at picking up the phone and calling somebody. I just don't like doing it. When I did, though, a week ago, to a friend of mine who had been texting saying, hey, I'd love to talk. He ended up sharing some stuff that was a really amazing news in his life. He and his family are going through. It was fantastic. And it made me realize that not only is it so helpful just to talk to another human being for a couple minutes. We're social animals. We need that interaction. And right now, when you can't always safely physically be around your friends, as caregivers especially, but a lot of times the husbands and partners, we don't do that. We just don't make a point of reaching out to a friend to talk to them for even a couple of minutes. It made all the difference in my day that day when I called him and we talked for a couple of minutes. It was great to catch up, but then to hear his great news made me feel so much better about the day I was already having, just because to hear something really positive. So that's the biggest thing for me, is just reach out to a friend. If nothing else, just call a friend and talk for a couple of minutes. It helps so much. And then I'm all over the webs at Jeff Bull Tech. So jeffbulltech.com, all the socials at Jeff Bull, TECH. And thanks again for having me. I really love being here.
I love your heart. I love the way you lead. And it's just my joy to have you in this amazing community. And Miss Jaki, one just kind of quick follow-up. And where can people find you?
Yes, again, I would say to tap in the power of now. Now is the time. And don't forget you have options. You don't have to stay with the same doctor. Get a second opinion, a third opinion, because I've switched doctors 2 weeks before I'd given birth to my son because that just wasn't the right fit. And so I totally believe keep going. Don't stay at that one doctor.
Come on.
And then I would just say you can reach us at I am Jetsetter Chic. So I'm Jetsetter Chic on all of our Instagram channels. And of course, our website, www.jetsetterchic.com. And so I'll just say this right now. Right now we are the only company to offer a eco-sustainable travel safety kit, which features biodegradable face masks and aromatherapy infused vegan sanitizer.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we need to get some of those. Sarah, if you're in the chat, Sarah's our social media manager. You all say thank you to Sarah who keeps it moving. Who keeps it moving on the back end and make sure that we have everything going. So we need to make sure we do that. And Vanessa Aliaga, who is our operations manager, she will reach out to you. Jaki, thank you so much for being here. And we're looking forward to hearing your story. So I just want to say, as we close, to this amazing community, you know, we started coming, we really kind of built out our online presence during quarantine because we wanted to keep the great work that we were doing with our in-person sessions. We wanted to keep it going. And we wanted, one of the things that I noticed was that there was so much negativity and so much fear. And I am a fear slayer. Now, what that means is it doesn't mean I'm never afraid. It means that I refuse to let fear win. And so this was my way of drawing a line in the sand to saying, you know what, every single week, I'm going to bring something to this community that can help you make progress. And so it's our absolute joy to do that. Sometimes we're just goofy and ridiculous and chat it up, but most of the time we come with something that you can use to help you make progress in your life, in your career, in your relationships, in something, right? I really believe that leadership is a lifestyle. It is not just a title, right? Jeff and I really hate titles. I think both of us would just kind of do away with them altogether if we could. But leadership is about how you show up. And it's usually about going forward into the spaces that other people would avoid. How many of you know what that means, right? You go and you're lonely and you're there all by yourself. Leadership looks sexy, but it's hard and it's not for the faint of heart. But
Right.
we can do it. And you know what? It makes the world a better place. It makes your workplace a better place. It makes your relationships a better place. Come on, that's good. Anyway, we've had an amazing chat. I could go on and on and on with all of this, but really today we just wanted to leave you with this message. Listen to your body, right? Shed those bad habits that keep you stuck in doing the same thing and getting the same results. That walk that Jeff talked about will do amazing things for your state of mind. That meditation that Jaki is talking about will do amazing things for your ability to be present in your life, right? Kim and Kim, the Kims, shared some amazing tips and perspectives about what it means to listen to your body and to advocate for yourself. You can do that. Listen, go make sure that you're following us on social media. We are at Rock Your Vision Community. I had to make sure I get that right. Rock Your Vision Community on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. We've got a brand new YouTube channel. Go and follow us on there. We want to really get that started. We're going to start a whole separate stream related to that. You can also find us on IG. That's Instagram at Rock Your Vision. We would love to have you in that community. And we're getting ready to launch a webinar and a digital course. The webinar is called The Path Back to Your Why. If you have felt stuck and disoriented and overwhelmed and not really sure of what to do next, this absolutely free webinar is going to be happening in October. You will begin to see ads and things like that for that. That is coming up. We want to share that with the world, okay? And then we're going to be launching a digital course, and it's called Reclaim Your Why, where we've got specific tools and resources, your own personal toolkit to help you get back to what drives you. So you can see we got a lot of amazing things, a lot of amazing folks in this community who are doing great stuff. We are super grateful for you, for your time. Listen, let's go have a good week. We've got this. And remember, you guys, you've got more options than you realize. Panel, hold on one second. I'm going to sign off. But thanks, everybody. Great to see you. Have a great week.